Right. Hello and welcome to the Electric Motors YouTube channel. My name is Patrick and this will be my very first video. It's wanted to create an introduction to my channel and kind of go over some of my ideals for the channel, for the projects I want to do, explain who I am and what I do, and the kind of reasons behind starting a YouTube channel. It's been like in my mind for a long time now. I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel and kind of connect with people and show people maybe some skills, or kind of teach people new things, or even like kind of take people on a journey of a vlog, to basically, you know, how to overcome things, and you know, don't be so afraid to take on new things, and show them that cars are actually not like as scary as they seem, and the car community is a great place to be a part of. I'm located down in Reading, that's in the UK, for people watching obviously internationally, and yeah, I just thought I'd introduce myself. I'm a mobile mechanic based in Reading, and I've been in the trade for about 5 years now, and been a self-employed, like running my own business, for 3 years. And 2 of those years was subcontracting for people, so I still was working for like companies, I guess, for the first 2 years, and then until I built up the confidence and skill enough to be able to go and work for myself and to get my own customer base slowly, you know, in the background, and yeah, be able to kind of do this full time on myself, working for my little caddy that I've got. And yeah, and I just wanted to introduce the project that I've decided that I'm going to pick for my very first kind of introduction to the channel as well. I'm a really big Honda fan, and I thought, why not start off with an EK Civic, as I used to own one before. The current one I've got, I will include in a second. I'm going to do a full review of this project car I bought. It's a non-runner, has no engine, it's just a rolling shell. But I used to have a green, this one's red, but I used to have a green EK Civic, and I regret selling it. So I was like, oh, you know, what am I into? Obviously I work on all makes and models, try my best, you know, but I'm like, oh, what's really most thing I'm passionate about? And it's just Japanese cars. I'm a really big JDM guy, and thought, you know, I owned a Civic, I regret selling it. It has so many tuning and like cosmetic options that you can customize the vehicle with, and the kind of aftermarket support for the Honda community is crazy. So thought, you know, why not? I'm gonna go invest in another EK. So I bought myself a red rolling shell this time. I already have a K20 Z4 engine in my garage that I bought to actually originally put in the green one I used to own a few years back, but that, because of budget, and back then I still had a full-time job, you know, so yeah, it just kind of was not like, I didn't have the budget for this sort of thing. And now working for myself, I've got more time, I've got more flexibility, so I thought maybe now it's kind of the time to, you know, give this whole YouTube project a go and kind of vlog my journey. It'd be good for my 2 sons to see me when they grow up as well. They're very young at the moment, so that's kind of one of the actual big reasons why I'm doing this. I thought maybe if I can do this now, I can connect with people, but also it'd be a good and fun thing to you know, my sons can watch back for when they're adults and be like, oh, you know, my father was like, this is what he was up to, and this is the crazy stuff he was doing when he was like young, you know, when I'm in a wheelchair. So yeah. And yeah, so I've got the engine, I've got the gearbox, I've got the ECU and the engine harness, I've got drive shafts, but I will need to modify the drive shafts. I didn't know this. I met some people who gave me some advice and stuff, so this would be like a journey that I probably don't know half of the stuff that even though I'm a qualified mechanic, you know, every day is a learning day for a mechanic. And found out you have to change the inner CV cups anyway, so I'll be probably getting parts along the way. I haven't got everything yet. I'm going to opt out with going with a eBay engine mount kit, purely just because I've heard that they actually work really well and they're kind of replicas of the Hasports mounts. And to be honest, I still want to do it on a respectable budget. It's not like I've got, you know, millions in my bank account, so yeah, and I've heard they work really well, and they're kind of replicas and they direct copies of the Hasports mounts, sorry, and they're like £600, £500 I think for the original one. So, you know, on eBay you can go and get a pair for like 180 quid, 200 quid, you know, and still build it aluminium with you know, pretty much solid bushes. You know, they're polyurethane and they'll rock as hell. So yeah, so that's going to be a good way of going about it. Need to get a another thing I want to mention as well is I mentioned I'm using a EK20 Z4 engine. That is out of a FN2 Type R, which I did actually buy. So when I sold my green Civic originally, that was a 96 plate. This one is, the red one's a 97, which is quite, I think it's meant to be because my birthday is 1997. But after I sold the green EK Civic, I bought myself the new daily, which was a FN2 Type R. So that's a European spec. You don't from what I know, you don't get those in America. I don't think you can get them in Japan, to be honest. That was a European spec only. So the Z4 engine had a slightly different VTEC, where it was more electronically controlled and the throttle body was electronic compared to a cable throttle body. So before, when I was early days, this was about maybe 2 years ago, I wanted to swap that engine. I bought another engine, so I had the car, obviously bought an engine from another scrap vehicle, and then the reason why I did that is because the EP3 engines are so expensive now. They're getting a bit more harder to find, and there's fewer of them on the road, you know, etc. So the engines are just going up in price, where there's still plenty of FN2s and still very cheap to buy. You can buy an FN2 for like £2 grand, £2.5 grand, you know. So compared to an EP3, where like a rubbish one with like a bit rotted is and high mileage as well, is you know, like over £5 grand, like. So that's one thing, and I opted out. I opted for going out for a Z4, which has got those little minor differences. And at the time, I wanted to put it in my green EK. That was the project that I just didn't have the funds for in the end, and there was no wiring harness for that engine, because you had to adapt the drive-by-wire electric accelerator pedal with you know, a signal wire to the ECU and stuff like that, make the electric throttle body work, and there was just no wiring harness for that either. And as well, a lot of people that did do like the swaps, they use an aftermarket ECU, and I found out as well at the time that if we hang about and wait for a company to develop a new wiring harness, then you would be able to use your stock ECU, the original FN2 ECU, because of where obviously the next generation came over, the kind of technology went up in the vehicle, and the ECUs now were far more customizable. They were better, like they're built better with higher technology and, you know, better components. So you now don't have to use a Honda to swap. If you use that, obviously go with that route. You know, if you have a better budget, you can obviously still go with the other EP3 engine. Some people prefer that. The VTEC seems to hit a bit harder and cross over a bit harder, but you can obviously sort that out in the FN2 engine anyways, you know, with cams and etc. and tuning. So but the ECU is actually far more customizable, so you have to send it off to a company in the UK. I found Racing Circuit at the time, but there was still in terms of they haven't finished developing the thing yet. It was still being developed, like the wiring harness, plug and play harness, and the kind of software for the ECU, because they can just kind of you know, kind of hack the ECU up so much that you can just use the stock FN2 ECU, which is obviously, it saves money because you don't have to go and spend like 500-600 quid on a Honda, you know, if you want to buy a new one, or maybe try hunt one down on eBay or Facebook Marketplace used. So that's what I was going to go for, but I was just hanging on, and then jobs and stuff changed around, and then yeah, my situation changed, so I got rid of the EK. Got the FN2, drove that around for a bit, then sold that, and now I'm back in a position where I work for myself. So now the company has obviously developed all the stuff we need, so we can now go ahead comfortably and not have to worry. There'll probably be a few things we might figure out, because I know the gearbox mounting is a bit different. So the one thing I will show in the videos as I'm doing it, you know, you can do certain things. I'm starting to like ramble on a bit. But yeah, we'll cover all that in the future episodes that I'm planning on recording, and then kind of that's going to be the project for the first project for my channel. I want to see how it goes, see how I am, you know, see if the people are happy with the content and people like watching it and want more. And yeah, we're gonna introduce the Civic, have a little walk around, talk to you how I got it and where I got it from, a little bit of history. I don't know too much history about the car. It was just an eBay deal I got. I was just hunting one down because even the like rolling shells or like the EK chassis itself is getting very difficult to find now. So you know, so it's just that took me months to find that car as well. So I was slowly hunting and eventually got it. So I pulled the trigger straight away. I didn't hesitate, you know, before someone else grabs it up, because they sell really quickly, especially if they're not as rusty. This one's got some surface rust, but it's not too bad. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll cut over to the car and then I'll do a full walk around and then go from there. Alright, cool. Welcome back. It's been a few weeks. I think it's actually been a month since my last video. Well, since the introduction I recorded in my van, and I've shaved off all my beard, so I don't look like a homeless guy anymore. But basically, I've just been work and you know, just family stuff, and basically the weather, essentially the weather, because right now it's nice and sunny, so I'm just waiting for the right time to get some time to record the walk around I mentioned at the beginning of the video, to do the walk around and kind of explain, you know, bits and bobs, and yeah, just kind of show the car off. And then since then as well, I've been able to put some money together and buy the eBay engine mounts, which I met somebody when I actually went to pick up this car, who was like a person, he does all the case swaps and stuff, like DC5s, he does all the Hondas, he's a Honda guy, and he said that obviously the Has Sports mounts, these eBay mounts are basically like direct copies, they're still billet and stuff. I'm going to show the quality of the materials and that kind of the kit when in the next part, in part one, we can say, because this is kind of the introduction. So in part one of the build, going to go over it, and yeah, and he said they fit. They might need slight modifying here and there, you know, but yeah, apart from that, they work and they're solid. So yeah, I had a look at them before as well, obviously, and just to see like the thickness of the metal and the quality of it all. Got an airplane above me, which is not good timing. Yeah, so check the thickness of it, and to be fair, I was quite impressed with it actually, like the thickness of the aluminium and the mounts and the rubber and everything like that. Like, I don't think I'm gonna, maybe I might have to grind something or like knock something or bump something just to, like, you know, get the kit to fit dead on and stuff like that. But like he did mention that it might need a bit tweaking, but in general the kits for the engine mounts kits from eBay, paid £160 I think the kit was. I can double check, but I'm sure it was like 160, 170 quid for it, which is, compared to the branded ones that are like, it's 500, 600 quid for, I think. Yeah, you're getting a, you know, getting a bargain. And if the kit is aluminium, to me aluminium's aluminium, so you know. So yeah, so it's the same comes out the ground, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna do a walk around the car and then show you guys what we're gonna do, and like the condition of the shell, because it's not mint or nothing. It's an EJ9, so it was a 1.4 D14 in it before, 1.4 petrol. And yeah, and the guy, I bought it on eBay. I want it, like, it was up for a listing, but I messaged him directly and I was like, oh, I'm interested to grab it straight away. You know, if you end your like auction now for it, I'll come and pick it up, and you know, blah blah. We agreed on the price, and it was, yeah, 500 quid for the shell. And I've done a favour for him, which is picking up another car. It was like a side favour, so he gave me some discount for that. And yeah, I picked it up from Peterborough. Yeah, it was just a bit further than Peterborough, so I'm down in Reading, and yeah, it was about 2.5 hours, 3 hours drive, I think. So it was quite a big journey. And then yeah, we borrowed my mate's recovery truck, and yeah, what's it? I got it down here, and after now walking around with it, having like some time to look at it properly in the sun and stuff, I have realised I'm missing a caliper, which is really shit, because, well, it's meant to be just a rolling shell. He's just it was supposed to be just the engine and the gearbox are removed, but the drive shaft are hacked up, and yeah, what we'll do is just lift this up, flop this around, and yeah, cool. Yeah, so got the engine bay where he's cut it all out. Got one drive shaft here. He's actually made a cut here. It's actually damaged, and obviously the CV joint is missing on this end. This side has actually been just cut. Where is it? Here. He's actually just cut the drive shaft off, which is not good for me, because I still need to figure out if I need to use these drive shafts, the original D series ones, and change the inner cups, or do I have to use the K shafts but swap the outer cups. But I would prefer to use the K series cups and swap the outer CV joints, because they obviously the thickness of the shaft, like, these are twigs, you know. Let's get that in there. These are tiny, you know, so like, yeah, so compared to the K series ones I've got in the garage, you know, they're a lot thicker, so I prefer that, just for the obviously horsepower and the torque that's gonna come from the K series, compared to a little 1.4 D series with like 90 horsepower up to 200. And yeah, and we've got the power steering lines that have just been cut as well, but that's not too bad because I'm not sure if you can get have to look at that, get a kit where you can do them with braided stainless lines, or we're going to be replacing this rack anyways because this whole subframe is going to be dropped and taken out. It's going to be, I'm going to be in the next video, it's going to be me showing me like a video of me, you know, lifting up the vehicle and taking off all the subframe. I've got the EG subframe to go. It's not painted or anything like that, but I might see how much time I've got. I see if I can, you know, paint it all black and underseal it, and then yeah, do an installation where we put the lower arms, the steering rack and the subframe and everything like that. We put it all in. I'm going to take out the servo, clean it up, and the brake lines, I don't know if they're going to work like that. I don't think so. They're probably going to have to, I'm going to have to delete everything and just remake it all from copper. It's not too bad. It will still work and function, and I could probably maybe use this junction box. If not, I can always get like an aftermarket one as well. And then worst part about this build will be that the wiring has been cut. I didn't know this either. This is where about a few things. So I didn't know the drive shafts have been hacked up. I didn't know the fuse box was, and here the wiring has been cut up. So I'm gonna have to get a good friend of mine who is also on YouTube, and I'll introduce him later on further into the project when we obviously get to this section, and we're going to have to rewire the car and make it all work. I probably have to buy a second-hand fuse box from eBay and then just, you know, kind of get that by wire by wire to see if we can get it to work, and then, you know, sort it out, put the original fuse box back in, because where it is, I think here in the corner or somewhere around here, original fuse boxes for these cars, it's not, you know, it's nowhere, not taking up any space, so it's not a problem, you know. They can go back to, some people relocate them into the glove box, but it's not a problem, you know. And one other thing I didn't know is, you're going to be upside down for a second, but here I don't have on this side a caliper compared to the passenger side where let's see, where I don't know if you can see that, but there is one under there. There is one caliper, so we've only got one caliper, which is frustrating because I could have just for now just want to put the engine in, get it all, just at least it runs, and just drive it on just like the standard gear, because it's not going to be on the track or nothing yet. That's for the future when we set it all up properly. But I'm going to have to skip a few steps of me just driving it on the stock suspension, stock brakes, just to, you know, get the car like running and driving, and then slowly put the upgrades on. But we're going to have to throw on, I've got in the garage, we're going to clean them up and, you know, probably get new discs, but got the carrier brackets and the calipers for the DC2 Type R front brakes conversion, so it's bigger brakes. So that would be really good more stopping power from the front, which is something that obviously is important when you're putting so much horsepower into such a light car. And yeah, we're gonna redo the plumbing here for the heat matrix, or I might just blank it off. Like a lot of people blank it off, you know. But if it's gonna be just a track car only, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't need it to put heating inside the car. But it would be maybe nice if we drive it in, like, you know, sometimes in like during the summer or something, we just go for a drive or take it to a car show, at least maybe just put like cold air in it or something, I don't know, but like, or something, I don't know. So I don't really know about that yet. I'll probably go think of that on the fly, but it would be the fastest and easiest way is just to leave the heat matrix out with the cooling system for now. And yeah, and at the moment, let's just go back a bit. This is kind of the front of it. It's just a normal red faded. There's like 40 different shades of red. The interior right now is being used by my dad as a storage unit, which I will get him to take all this crap out for me so I can do the interior. But it's nothing, it's just a standard, you know, EK chassis with got a sunroof as well. And the rust on it is not too bad. Well, I'm gonna show you the worst side. So this side here, how is it? Yeah, there. This is the worst side. Right, I'm gonna have to, you know, do a patch repair around here, which I'm shocking up bodywork, so it's gonna be fun watching me try to do that. And yeah, so it's all flaking off and stuff, and the inside probably is a bit bad as well. It's a bit gone. Let's see. Let's get there. Yeah, it's good. I can feel a hole around here, but the body is going to be sanded down and painted black, just to do with the Vectric Motors kind of scheme, which is black and white anyways. And what's it? This side is the good side. I'll just show off quickly. Yeah, that's it here. So this is the This is this solid. It's got like, I say it's got like a little bit starting to go here, but it's not like a giant hole, you know. It's actually all right. So that side might need a little bit of treatment, and cutting that one little section compared to like a whole big patch, you know, big square, and one little corner would be easier to cut out and protect compared to you know, the rest. But yeah, I've got my jacks ready because I thought today is the weather's perfect. I thought I'm gonna you know, jack it up and prepare it for the next video basically. And yeah, and just oh, didn't mention as well, this vehicle is an automatic, so this is a, you can't see the shifter because again it was a crap, but yeah, it's an automatic see the cables in here? No, I don't think I can. I think they removed them. Oh, I think possibly here, where is it? Here, that's one that may possibly be the shifter cables, but yeah, it's an automatic, so what we're going to do is obviously that's going to be all removed and deleted, and then we're going to be putting a K shifter in it anyway. So they're probably one from hybrid racing. Hybrid racing ones are about 300-400 quid, so it'd be something we have to save up for. But I'm going to try to do it as on a budget as much as I can, because I am using the FN2 engine and gearbox, so the shifting pattern on the FN2 Type R is slightly different, and so the shifting pattern on the FN2 is slightly different. So we're gonna have to buy, I think they do, when I first looked into this, they didn't make hybrid shifter or like skunk 2, they didn't make shifters for the you know, K swaps for FN2 gearboxes. They just did it for an EP3. So what we're going to do is have a look again, because I'm pretty confident, because since then they have made it that it looks the same pretty much, but the way obviously the H pattern shifts and stuff and the linkages move, they move for the FN2 K20 Z4 like kind of gearbox. So yeah, I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty confident you can get that now. And if not, we're gonna have to get just a stock shifter and just bodge up the mounting for now inside the interior, and yeah, and do it and just make it fit basically until with something that is available in the market. But again, pretty confident that it's doable. But yeah, all right, so yeah, I'm gonna get the car raised now and then jack it up, and then what I do is I'm gonna edit this video. I will apologize now in the future for my shocking editing skills. I've never edited in my life. This is the first edit I'm going to do on anything ever, like video related. And yeah, and then in the next part 1, this is the introduction, and the official part 1 would be me stripping, like lifting it up, stripping all the suspension apart with the brakes, fighting the rust, maybe taking off the front end. I'll see how long I can make these videos, and yeah, and then and you know, get that all prepared and stuff, and then like we make part 2, you know, I'll see maybe fitting it all and explaining it all again, and then maybe part 3 could be like once that's all done and bolted, and we could do the brakes maybe, and then yeah, front end will be in pieces. We can then lift the chassis up, or if I can get a crane, maybe get an engine crane and lift the engine in, start fitting and testing the fitment of like the, you know, start fitting the engine and stuff like that. But yeah, it'd be like part 2 and 3 will start getting juicy, so just bear with me. Also, I need to save up a little bit and work as well in the meantime, so the videos will come out, you know, as fast as I can as well, depending on weather, work, etc, etc. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one for part 1. Cheers, thank you, bye bye.